All right, level with me here. You wake up on a Tuesday morning, and it's early May, and you look out the window and you say, oh my goodness, it's pouring. We got a massive green blob on the radar. It's going to be there for the next day, 2, 3, maybe. You know how spring goes. You get rain out multiple days in a row sometimes. Hasn't been that way for us this year, but we have finally gotten there, and this is a real-time episode. It has been raining for us the last couple days, but you look and you see all this, and you see the forecast, like, oh no, here we go. Your stomach drops. And you start doing math in your head and you say, how many jobs are getting pushed? How much overtime I got to pay on Saturday to catch up? And quite frankly, do I have enough cash in my bank to cover payroll on Friday if no checks come in, right? Because we can't get projects done. Quite frankly, if a rainy week sends you into a panic, it's not just weather that's the problem, right? We can't just complain about the rain. The rain's a good thing. You have a cash flow and a scheduling problem. And today we're going to talk about how to build a business that doesn't just break because the sun doesn't come out, but one that can actually thrive even in the midst of a storm. Let's get into it, guys.
Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings. If your business is stuck below that $500,000 mark, let's just say it straight. The problem, it might be you. Not because you're failing, but because everything runs through you. You're answering the calls, solving problems, checking crews, putting out fires, and by the end of the day, there's nothing left for growth. That's exactly why Launchpreneur Academy built the SOP Bundle. Inside, you'll get more than 50 field training SOPs, a full office training system, and 30-plus business documents and resources to help you build a team that will actually run without you. Train faster, delegate better, scale smarter.
The price is only $9.99. You heard that right. Just $9.99.
Get lifetime access, lifetime updates, and the systems to help you step out of the day-to-day. Visit LaunchpreneurAcademy.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into an episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I'm excited to come to you today. If you are new here, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support, continued support. If you are a longtime listener, I appreciate your time and that you chose to spend it with us today. I know your time is valuable. It's the most valuable thing that you have. And if you chose to spend 20 or 30 minutes with us today, I am extremely grateful. We could not do this show without you listening, and your continued support. It means the world to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am really excited before we hop into today's show, talking about rain and delays and things like that, to come to you and talk to you about the SOP bundle that Brian Fullerton has put together over at Launchpreneur Academy. Guys, Brian's a great friend of mine. He's a huge resource to this industry. He's done a lot of good things, built a lot of great things, has tons and tons of content on YouTube and Instagram and all the other places that you can go find and consume content. He has the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Guys, Brian's doing great stuff. And Launchpreneur Academy is a place where there are tons and tons of training resources, and it's a website full of things that will help you grow your business. And he recently, today, if you're listening real time, on Thursday, has dropped the SOP bundle that he just got finished up. Him and his team built up there in Michigan, and probably some people from across the world helped him build it too. So I'm sure different hands have touched it, and they've just brought you the best value that he could possibly bring. It is going to be really, really cool. If you heard that coming into the show there about Mr. Producer talking about what the SOP bundle can do for you, guys, that is something that I highly encourage you to jump on. It's a very good value. Lifetime updates, pretty much everything that Brian puts out is worth its money. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, I didn't get my value out of it." Right? I didn't really like this. So take advantage of that today. Go check it out. If you're stuck in that range of that 250 to 500, you just can't get over because everything still runs through you. This is going to help you break that hump some. And a lot of people can say, "Well, why would I spend this money? I could just go do it on AI, right?" Well, yes, that is doable. You could do that. That is just, quite frankly, the world that we live in, and Brian knows that. But Brian has spent a lot of time and effort and money putting into this and creating it to where you just have to literally, you just pay some dollars and boom, it's all there for you. There is no time in creation and content ideas and all the stuff, the back-end logistics of creating it all of that goes away when you get this bundle. So if you want to go into spring this year, really in a good spot, training teams, hiring people, working through invoicing and things like that, getting processes built, SOP Bundle is a great thing for you, and I highly, highly suggest you go and take advantage of it. So let's hop in, guys. Late April, early May, which is exactly where we're at right now. We're in the thick of the spring rush. We're in the thick of the spring rain, right? And I know a lot of you guys up north, you get dry in the summer and you'll burn out. My voice, man, it keeps going in and out. I don't know what the issue is. I'm going to get some water here. Try to keep going. We work outside, right? Obviously, we're at the mercy of the weather. And if it rains, we are in trouble. But we need the rain. It's a necessary evil, right? We need the rain. If only we could just guarantee it to rain every single night and be done by like 2 a.m., we'd be in a great shape, right? But I know very often a lot of guys that are starting out and really even getting up into that, like we're talking about, $300,000 to $500,000 to $700,000 range. That is a range to where rain can hurt you. Rain can set you back. You are booked out, and you have 2, 3, 4 days a week of rain. You're backed up on mowing. It can really it can make your people upset because they're at home getting paid if they're just on an hourly rate and you're not paying them any sort of compensation outside of what hours they work. Like these type of rain delays can really derail your month, because if you're booked out a couple weeks on project-based work and you get rained out 4 days, like you are pushing everybody back, right? And so I know the homeowners are calling you, what are we doing? When stuff getting done? Like that's stressful. I understand that because, again, I own it every single day, and I do that in my business here in Birmingham. So I know the owner is stressed out. You, the owner, you're stressed. Maybe you're not an owner. Maybe you're just a PM or something in a company. And I don't say just a PM lightly. I say that to say, yes, you do own that stress, but at the end of the day, the owner still owns everyone's stress, right? And especially in these early years of growth, like these are tough barriers to break down of letting people own things and truly own them. And I know how that feels. So the truth is, like, it's going to rain all the time, right? It's going to rain every spring, okay? It's not a surprise. But so many people go into spring hurting from winter. They have no cash in their accounts. They're in a terrible cash flow crunch. They have to work and deposit. And then they get into a summer stride, and they make it through summer, and then they go into fall, and then they reset it all in the winter and do it all over again the next year. Like, that's what we have to get out of, okay? We have to get out of that mindset of resetting every year and going into spring in a terrible cash position. So today, I want to walk through a few things and a few concepts of how we can help not let rain hurt you so bad, right? And today I'm using an example of rain, but this goes across the board for whatever your issue is in your business when it comes to cash flow issues and scheduling issues. One setback, right? We're just talking about setbacks that can mess you up in the long run down the road. So the biggest stresses that we all have, probably most of us out there, is money, okay? When it rains, the work stops. Like, I get that. The schedule is stressful, yes, but when it rains and the work stops, that means invoicing usually stops. If you're doing a per visit basis invoice, like that is something that if you don't mow, you don't invoice, okay? We all know what does not stop, though. Your truck payments, your insurance, your payroll. Those things keep on going, okay? So if it's a rainy week and you get in a cash crunch, it means you're living job to job, right? If you cannot get through these job to job scenarios, or if you cannot get through these rain day scenarios because you are so job to job, we have a problem. And we're using Tuesday's deposit to pay for Wednesday or Thursday's material order, right? Or we're using Tuesday's deposit for a job to pay up on back labor that we owe our guys, right? That is a not fun way to live. Totally understandable. I would be lying if I said I haven't been in a spot like that before. I've never gotten behind on employees, but definitely have gotten behind on payments and vendors and things like that throughout my history in business. And so I know what that feels like, right? I think that we really have to build a cash flow buffer here. And one of the best ways to do that is very simple. And we start by separating accounts. If you don't have accounts separate, you need accounts separate for your business. You need at minimum an operating account and a payroll account. Those are your minimum 2 accounts that you have, right? You have an operating account that everything runs through besides payroll, and then your payroll account that money runs through for payroll every single week, okay? And then a lot of people have a tax account. And I personally don't have a tax account, but if you want to have a tax account, go create a tax account. I think it is a great idea. We just personally don't have one, but I do think it is a great idea. I'm not saying we won't do one in the future. I'm just saying it is a good idea to have one. The basis here is you need to stop running everything out of just one account, right? That is not a good thing. It's hard for clarity, right? It's hard to have clarity in your numbers when you're doing that. It's hard for just clean books. All of those things come into play there. So get some accounts to where you can keep and say, okay, I'm going to get paid. This money's going to the payroll account, and then boom, I have $6,000 a week sitting here for payroll, and then all other money, truck payments, material orders, all those things come through the operations account, right? Your goal when you have these accounts built is to start building a buffer, okay? So build up enough cash in operating to cover expenses with no revenue coming in. And this is not easy, right? By the way, don't get that wrong. This is not easy. This is the process and like a beginning playbook to get to some of these points is start funding that operations account and doing your very best to start putting a buffer in there of weeks of expenses, 1 to 2 weeks of expenses where nothing gets invoiced, right? We have enough money sitting here to pay for our day-to-day expenses, okay? Our truck payments, our draft, things like that, okay? And so you do that by every time you have a profitable job, you take a little bit of money and you put it in that account and you say, this is bookmarked for this. And so you can say that operating account. Some people would say add a savings account, right? So it would be an operating account, a payroll account, and a savings account. And this needs to be going in your savings account, okay? That may clarify things for you a little bit, maybe easier to keep up and not spend that money. But this is the next one that I think I'm going to I can spend a while on this one, and that is invoicing immediately. Something about the lawn care landscape industry is and it's changing, by the way, but 3 to 5 years ago, we were still so behind that we did not invoice work until like net 30 on things. And we are a recurring service-based business that is not, and some one-off stuff too. In what world do we invoice net 30? Not net 30 pay terms. We invoice net 30, right? Like I have GCs that have net 30 pay terms, but the invoice is getting sent as soon as the stuff's delivered or whatever, as soon as the job is done, okay? 2-3 years ago, I was invoicing net 30 on my mowing accounts. Part of that was because we didn't have a good system in place like Element to help us do it. But guys, what are we doing? You go buy a pizza. What do they? I've said this example a million times. You go check out a Pizza Hut. Are they going to say, "Oh, just come back and pay me net 30 days. We're good. We'll take care of it." That's a funny example. Let's go to a real life example. Pest control, weed control, and fertilization companies. There's any service, right? An HVAC company. They come to your house, they're charging you when they drive, before they pull out of the driveway, right? Any home service business besides lawn care, they're pulling up, that is keeping up with the times of technology, right? They are not leaving their driveway until they have your payment method run. Like, it's that simple. And so I'm still probably behind the ball in the sense of we only invoice once a week right now. We don't invoice immediately. So we invoice on every Sunday. We process invoices for the previous week, And so we do that all at one time. If I tell you, like, just plainly and very, like, openly, if I had a great system in place for tracking every single week, no misses, these are the yards we did, this is the time we did on it, everything was done to this, these are the services, all this is perfect in order, and we live in a perfect world, then I would be invoicing every single day, right? That's not what we have right now, and we can get there. I would be lying if I said we couldn't get there. It just takes discipline. That's what it comes down to. Is I discipline enough to get us there and put the team around me to do that? But right now, weekly cash flow works for me, and so we invoice at the end of the weeks. But I'll tell you, when we started invoicing weekly for that service, we didn't lose one customer. I thought it was going to be the end of the world. When we changed from net 30 end of the month to every week, what? Oh, customer's going to be so mad. There's no what? Didn't lose one customer from it, right? Because they understand. They're probably like, dude, what's this doing invoicing me 30 days later, right? It also helps with keeping up with things and not forgetting, because a lot of times if you're invoicing in a month, then you're going to be like, what did we do 3.5 weeks ago? Did we do that yard? Did we pull weeds there that day? Did we do an extra service? Yeah, we did. That's an extra $85 or whatever. But then the customer forgets, right? And so having LMN, I'll tell you how you get to this, where you can invoice weekly and then daily, is like having LMN in place to where you track your stuff in crew every single day. You punch in and out of your services every single day. And at the end of the day, you have yourself or a VA go through that list, run through, do an invoice, and move on, right? Do an invoice run, invoice them all, and keep on going. So there's ways to do it. The more that I sit here and talk about it, we may be changing this like next week. It sounds pretty good. So I think that system can be built pretty easily. If we do it, I'll share it with you and make sure that you know that it can be done as well. But when you have the right tools like LMN, guys, you really can do this stuff. It's not just estimating, okay? It is for the business side of the green industry, right? You can run your business, the whole backside, essentially. It's not accounting, right? But all of your invoicing, all of your estimating, all of your budgeting, all of your scheduling, your routing, all of that stuff goes through there. It is the lifeline of our business. We could not do it without LMN. When LMN goes down, we're in trouble, right? That's how big of a portion they are in our business, and so we want to make sure that we don't do anything to jeopardize our relationship with LMN down the road, because and that's not being like advertising for LMN or not. I just mean in general. Like, I want LMN to think of me as a good paying customer, right? Like, that is what I want LMN, because I love the software. Don't make them cancel me or talk bad about me type thing. You know, I want them to think that I enjoy their software, because I do. We could not live without it. Hear me say that. We could not live without it. So we have some rain days, right? This is how we're gonna, those first few things is how we're gonna actually try to avoid this cash flow crunch. But how are we gonna stay productive when rain days actually happen? Okay, when guys can't stay on properties, how are we gonna actually stay moving and keep things done? Because I'll tell you what happens in Growing Green is we get into the spring rush and the heat of the summer, and we are rolling. Like, we have stuff to do every single day, all day. We're working 7 to 4 every single day, and there's not a bunch of extra time for getting all of these extra things done, for getting equipment maintenance done and blades sharpened and all this stuff taken care of. Like, there's not time for that. And so that stuff all gets put on the back burner, getting oils changed. Well, me saying that and there's no time for that is like saying, well, we're not going to take care of the things that take care of us. That's essentially what you're saying. So when it is raining and you have a rain day, you need to be taking that and turning it into, okay, we're going to stay productive somehow, some way. We do not have a shop, okay? We don't have a shop. We have not had a shop ever. So I don't know what it's like to have a dry place to work in, okay? But what we do is we get creative. We have a shipping container, and so we can do things inside of that if we need to. We can sharpen blades inside of that. And we also have a buddy who has a shop, and we trade off things back and forth all the time. He gets to dump at my property. He lets me use his shop pretty much whenever we want. It's a great back and forth here. And this is why you build relationships locally, because if I just looked at him as a competitor all the time, like we would just be beefing with each other, what would that do for us? But instead, we're really good friends. We refer work to each other all the time. And he has a shop that he rents. And so we can go, if it's raining or something, we can go work in there. We can go build in there. We did an entire landscape project, building some raised flower beds inside of his shop a month and a half, 2 months ago. In the middle, it rained all day, but we got an entire project done. We built them all. It stopped raining in the afternoon. We went and put them up. We did all of that on a day that we couldn't have done anything because we built that relationship, okay? So you get creative. My house has a basement in it. We've worked in the basement before. We've taken mowers down there and changed blades and done that stuff in the basement. Find a way. Buy some 10 by 10 canopy or build one and go park under it, right? Like I'm getting creative right now because we need a covered spot up there. There are these greenhouses that you can buy at auctions, and they're full like plastic greenhouses, and they're dried in, right? So there's like a 10. We just bought a 15 by 7, I believe. It was like $125, and I'm looking at like a 20 by 10 right now for $150, $170, and we're gonna put these up at the property, and it's gonna serve two purposes. We're gonna be able to keep our plants in here that we have that don't go out on jobs all the time. If we have extra or something, we can bring them back here so they don't get cooked in the summer. And we're going to keep them in there and keep them dry. But then when we have rain days, we can literally pull mowers and things inside of this greenhouse and work in here and get things done. They have big roll-up doors on them. Like, get creative. If you don't have a shop, it's not an excuse to just not get stuff done. Get creative. Find things to do. Use rain days to train. I do have an office space that we rent, and we can go train in there. We've done that on rain days before. We'll go in there and we'll watch LMN videos. We'll go in there and we'll trade on. Excuse me. You know I got to get one big yawn in for a show at least. We'll go in there and train on all kind of things. Mowing, hook up the trailer, all that stuff that you need to do recurring just so people stay fresh on it. We'll go train on that. We've trained on irrigation before. We've done full days of irrigation training in there. Shop organization, that goes back to working inside of our shipping container. That's our quote-unquote shop, right? And so we try to keep that thing as clean as we can and organized. We're not great at it, but, it's part of it. And I'll tell you what, I want to circle back to where I was going with this at the beginning. You may think, well, if I do all that stuff, I can't afford, you may think, well, Jeremiah, I can't afford to pay my guys to clean the shop, right? Hear me say this. You're already paying for it. You're paying for it when the equipment breaks down because you don't take care of it. The tools are lost because they're not organized. And your mornings are inefficient because you haven't trained well. Like, that's when you're paying for this stuff. Paying your guys for a half day of shop work keeps morale high because they get to show up and make some money, right? Their paychecks stay steady. In turn, their morale stays high, right? And you are more efficient when the sun does come out. You're not playing catch up all the way around on every front because you got some things done during the rain. This type of principles right here, this is what it takes to run a lean operation. Okay? Lean operation comes back to principles like this: staying productive, using your team to do the productive things even when they don't want to, right? Having the discipline to do them. And this is where I really highly suggest you guys to look into Leanscaper and the community that they have there, because this is where you get to go learn this stuff. I've learned a lot of lean principles from Leanscaper, right? Mark Bradley built a $50 million landscape company in Canada before he sold that and then built LMN, and now he's sold LMN, is now into Leanscaper. Like, he has some time in the industry. I would take a few notes from him. It's a very good resource to be around. Community's free. You can join an accelerator for like $250 a month. If you're like $200,000 to $500,000 range, $250 a month, guys, that's not that much money. You can do it. You get in there, you get coaching every single week on how to become more AI-enabled company, how to train your people well. So the last thing I will say is make sure we're communicating to our customers very well. We have an email blast going out today if you're listening real time, because we're 2 days behind on mowing this week. All the customers on our schedule for the rest of the week, they're all going to get an email saying, hey, obviously the rain's got us messed up, but we've got you on the schedule. We're going to come out as quickly as we can. Emphasize the importance of the rain that we've needed. Give them a little fact about it. Hey, we've gotten 2.5 inches over the last couple of days. It's been really good. It's going to help our grass green up. It's going to help your lawns look better. Just make sure that you are communicating well. On your mowing front, it's way more quote unquote important, because that's like every single week. People don't want to get missed. They have parties. They want it to look good. And then on your install front, you have a little bit more leeway. Usually timelines aren't as tight, but you still need to make sure that you are managing expectations well and letting them know what that looks like. So going forward, guys, I just want you to hopefully have a little bit of freedom in this whole rain day scenario situation, and how you can make the most out of one and actually make it to where you don't feel like you're just going backwards and you're not mad about the rain. I hope that you get your bank account set up. Make sure you have a system in place for rain days. Build an SOP for rain days, right? You're talking about like sitting here, Brian, buying Brian's bundle for SOPs. Quite frankly, I don't know if he has a rain day SOP in there or not. It'll probably get in there, added in the future. I'll tell him to add one, right? But you need to have something in there to where every single rain day you can turn and say, okay, boom, these are my top 5 things that I do. Go into Leanscaper, into the AI platform there and say, hey, Lana, generate me a SOP for rain days. I need my guys to stay productive. We're going to have a 5-hour work day. We're only going to work half a day, but we need to make the most maximum efficiency during this day. We don't have a shop, so we can get these things done in the rain. Maybe have a covered area, whatever. Get creative, talk through it. Get creative. You are a business owner. You solve problems. This is a problem that you have. Figure out a way to solve it. It's that simple. Problem, find a solution. That's what you do all day, every day as a business owner for your customers. Guys, I love you. I care about you. Appreciate you. I couldn't do this show without you. I hope this one brings some value to you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in and supporting us. Go check out Brian's SOP bundle there on Launchmove Academy. Let him know that we sent you if you do, just for the fun of it. I'm not even getting, I don't get kickbacks or any of that. Brian's just a good friend, and I want you to go support him. So thank you, guys. I love you. Appreciate your care about you. Leave us a big 5-star rating review if you don't mind. That helps us share the show. This show will be out on YouTube. Last show's out on YouTube as well. We're trying to do this a little bit more here. So go watch it. Come hang out and share your show. Share the show with some friends. Let them know that there's some value here, and I hope you enjoy their business with it. Thank you, guys. See you on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.